That's huge. That is a biggie. It's out there.
गोल्ड प्लस क्लियर ग्लास, पार हो या नियर, सब कुछ दिखे क्लियर।
We're the only country with such a large population of youth and yuva.
Pure talent और कुछ नहीं है।
बुलाने वाला फ्यूचर काफी अच्छा है स्पोर्ट्स का।
Luck, patience and a lot of tolerance.
Life can change overnight.
जीवन में मैंने कोशिश की है सदैव चुनौती को अपनाने।
We need to work towards an egalitarian society, regardless of gender and orientation.
This is the Zorawar, India's very own light tank. Built for a very specific requirement to defend our forces and attack when necessary in high altitude areas. Conceived of in the post-Galwan context and in direct response to the emergence of the Chinese Type 15 light tank, the Zorawar is meant to plug holes in India's armored defenses. At the moment, India uses heavy tanks, the T-90 and T-72, way up in the Ladakh heights. These are far too heavy and unwieldy for operations in the rarefied atmosphere. And so, Zorawar was designed and developed in 21 months straight. Weighing in at 25 tons, close to half the weight of the older tanks, the Zorawar can be easily airlifted and is built with the future in mind. Upgradability. Designed to operate with drones, it will also feature an active protection system, a system which intercepts incoming missiles and rockets to protect the tank. But these upgrades will come.
The 100th birth anniversary of Bharat Ratna Dr. Bhupen Hazarika in Guwahati. Prime Minister Modi meets the victims of the Manipur violence. Opposition hits back, says why the Prime Minister did not visit the state earlier. Ahead of the assembly elections, Tamil Nadu politics is heating up. TVK chief Vijay kicks off his tour of the state. This after Tamil Nadu police put in restrictions on the yatra. All eyes on the high-stakes game between India and Pakistan at the Asia Cup. This will be the first match since Operation Sindoor, even as veterans are fuming, asking why is it that India is playing Pakistan in cricket. As normalcy is beginning to come back in Nepal, Prime Minister Modi's peace message hails the India-Nepal bilateral relationship. And Sushila Karki, as the next Prime Minister of Nepal, will empower the country, is the word coming in from the Prime Minister. Prime Minister Modi is on a northeast tour. He's visited Mizoram, he's in Assam right now, and most importantly, he visited Manipur today. His first since the region got engulfed in ethnic strife and conflict since 2023. He made it a point to visit both the Kuki-dominated Churachandpur area as well as the Methi-dominated Imphal Valley with a message of peace and stability, with a focus on development and through continued dialogue. The visit also witnessed the announcement of key development projects worth over 7,000 crore rupees, indicating the centre's intent to ensure that the region is given its fair share of importance and priorities in terms of national focus. But the fact that the Kuki Council, a prominent civil society voice, submitted a memorandum for autonomy underscores the difficult and long path to normalcy and to growth. The Kukis have been seeking a separate UT status, something that violates the very principle of a united India, a state within a state, something that India will not and cannot accept. So what lies ahead for Manipur and its people? What should be the next key milestones that they should be looking out for? And more significantly, the healing touch that the Prime Minister gave today, does that pave the way for some reconciliation, some rehabilitation, and more importantly, will political normalcy now come back to the state? Those are the key questions that we'll try and get you answers to. But first up, let's play out this report that tells you just how significant today's visit of the Prime Minister is to Manipur.
A trip to heal, to assure, to pave the road to peace. PM Modi in strife-torn and fractured Manipur, with a message of peace and progress. The Prime Minister braved bad weather, took road to Churachandpur as heavy rains grounded the chopper. Greeted with tricolors lining the rocky road. Aware of the deep symbolism of his visit, coming 2 years after the deadly ethnic violence that left hundreds dead and thousands displaced, PM met the victims of violence on both sides. First in Churachandpur and then in Imphal, both places that were gripped with massive violence, sending a message of balance and unity to both Kukis and Metis in Manipur. Sharing poignant moments with those who have suffered due to the violence and have been uprooted from their homes, the PM's message was clear that he is with Manipur and the state will see a new dawn.
थोड़ी देर पहले मैं उन प्रभावित लोगों से मिला हूं जो कैंप्स में रह रहे हैं। उनसे बातचीत के बाद मैं कह सकता हूं कि उम्मीद और विश्वास की नई सुबह मणिपुर में दस्तक दे रही है।
Prime Minister launched projects worth over 7,000 crore rupees in the state, saying that Manipur will be a symbol of peace and progress. PM also acknowledged the warm welcome he got from the locals on his trip.
मैं मणिपुर वासियों का सर झुका करके नमन करता हूं।
Locals also showed enthusiasm and expectations from the PM's visit.
मैं उसको ट्रेडिशनल टोपी उसको पहनाना है जो हाथों से बना हुआ है और मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा।
PM also assured those in relief camps that his government is working to ensure their return and a package has been announced for the rehabilitation of the victims.
जो बेघर हो गए ऐसे परिवारों के लिए 7,000 नए घर बनाने के लिए हमारी सरकार मदद दे रही है। हाल में ही करीब 3,000 करोड़ रुपए का स्पेशल पैकेज भी स्वीकृत किया गया है।
But the opposition attacked the PM's visit, saying it has come 2 years too late and that he should have visited the state when it was reeling under violence.
I'm glad that he has decided after 2 years that it's worth him visiting. He should have visited long before. And it's very unfortunate that he has allowed what is happening there to happen for so long, and so many people to get killed and so many people to go through so much strife before he has decided to visit.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's trip to Manipur holds immense significance. It was planned carefully, in detail, with visits to both Churachandpur and Imphal. In both places, the focus of the visit was the meeting with the internally displaced people. And the Prime Minister, through his speech, gave hope to the people of Manipur that the government, led by him, is focused on bringing not just lasting peace to Manipur, but also ensuring that Manipur is an integral part of India's Viksit Bharat dream. With camera person Azam Siddiqui at the Kangla Fort in Imphal, Manipur, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
All right, let's open this up and let me tell you, viewers, that this is the biggest political story of the day. Prime Minister Modi in Manipur almost 2.5 years after that strife, that ethnic conflict engulfed the state. Of course, there have been sharp responses that have come in from opposition voices. They've in fact saying that this should have happened long back. But the message that the Prime Minister's visit has sent out, which is that peace and normalcy will return, that growth will be fast-tracked, that displaced people will be settled, is something that is going to be the single biggest aspect that Manipuris would now be focused on. What about the political situation? How soon will the government be restored? The roadmap for Manipuris. Remember, the assembly has not been dissolved. It's still there. There is president's rule right now, but the assembly hasn't been dissolved. Those are the questions that Manipuris would now be seeking an answer to. Let's open this up and let's get in our guests joining me this evening. We have RP Singh of the BJP, Matthew Anthony, spokesperson of the Congress party, and Hoinu Hoysel is a senior journalist with me on the broadcast. And in fact, Hoinu, let me start with you. The visit of the Prime Minister, extremely significant, some would say historic, because he spoke about hope, he spoke about ending pain, he spoke about development, growth. How much do you think this will go a long way in terms of bridging the trust deficit that still remains a key concern for the communities there?
Hi, good evening. There are many ways of looking at the visit of the Prime Minister. One, of course, it's easy to say it's a little too late, but it will have to begin somewhere. And I'm glad that he finally found time to visit. And in his speech in Mizoram, he spoke in English and immediately broke a barrier, because we must also understand that that's a non-Hindi speaking area, not for the dislike of anything, but it's just so that it's not a first language. So I felt if only he spoke in English, it would have warmed more hearts and he would have broken, those barriers. But nonetheless, he was there bringing in a lot of hopes. One, he did speak about the different phases for rehabilitation of people who are displaced. He also spoke a lot about infrastructure development. But we were actually hoping that a lot of things that were discussed in the back channel over the past 2.5 years, there were discussions about, finding a political solution. When I say political solution, we must not jump and say that we're trying to demand a state. It's not that what the people of Churachandpur, or let's say the Kuki Zo group, have always wanted is a self-determination. It has proven very clearly that in the last 2.5 years, there has been a clear divide between the hills and the valley. So we thought that he would come with clear mandate, or at least a hint that something to that effect is, it's being discussed. But none of that mattered. So there was more emphasis on the infrastructure. But we must remember that at the core of the conflict, at the core of every policy that has been taken are the people. But there is nothing that are clearly spelled out. So there's a bit of disappointment.
Okay.
There's a bit of disappointment in not really spelling out what is it for people who have been stranded away from home, displaced in the most inhuman situation. So there is nothing that's been spoken about them, nor relief. So I think the basics are really at the core. The people at the core, the people are at the core of everything. They are where policies, governance are functioned upon. So if there's nothing for the people, and it's a little disappointing, but it's a little too early to even to use the word disappointing. He also spoke about the holistic development and inclusivity. So in the inclusivity, I would imagine that connectivity is one of the most important things. We must remember that the airport, which is in Imphal, has not been accessible for a lot of people from the Churachandpur district who have to travel about 15 hours of back-breaking journey through landslide, whatnot. So that has also not been discussed.
Some of the points that you raised, let's take them one by one. The fact that there was an effort and a clear intent to reach out to ensure that the message is felt and to ensure that the connect is made with the people, I think that was a very important aspect. The fact that he spoke in English to ensure that his message of stability, dialogue and development, that went across.
He spoke in English in Mizoram.
Yes.
Spoke beautifully, and I wish he continued that in Churachandpur, because people don't understand Hindi too much.
Right.
So I felt he would have won greater hearts and there would have been much more, much more breaking of that barrier and really showing empathy and compassion. That should have come around, in my observation.
Okay. All right. Those are important points. And again, for viewers, if you try and understand just how much the situation needs to be brought under control in terms of the milestones that need to be covered for Manipur, there are these buffer zones in which people live. Those buffer zones cannot be crossed. Can that now happen? Is that there is a roadmap that possibly that could happen going forward? As Hoinu mentioned, that those who are, the Kuki-dominated areas are not able to access the airport. The Methi-dominated areas are not able to access the highways because of these buffer zones that have been created. When will that accessibility, that connectivity come in? And I guess that's the long road to normalcy, to the political solution, to a broad framework that many are asking. But, in terms of all this, while we have a long-term view, let's also now talk about the immediate, which is that there's been a visit of the Prime Minister and there's also been a very sharp response that has come in from the Congress party. And let's get in the Congress party spokesperson. I'll say exactly what Mr. Kharge's response to the visit was. He said, your 3-hour pit stop in Manipur is not compassion, it's farce, tokenism and a grave insult. It goes on to say it's nothing but a cowardly escape from hearing the cries of people in relief camps. Do you think, sir, Mr. Antony, this language, this tone, this messaging is going to help ease the pain? Do you think it's going to help bridge the trust deficit? Do you think it's going to address the core concerns of Manipuris?
Gauri, good evening and good evening to all the viewers. The visit of Prime Minister is too little, too late. And I'll go by the reasons. This was not a visit exclusively for Manipur, whereas you have seen the leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi, visiting Manipur 2 months immediately after the violence. Then we started the Bharat Jodo Yatra from Manipur. Then immediately after taking over the LOP, he visited Manipur. Coming back to it, is the Prime Minister's visit an exclusive visit to Manipur? Or is he following the visit from Manipur with a visit to West Bengal, Assam, and then Bihar? So again, he shamelessly proves that this is an election machinery which is working. Else there is no need for him to visit Manipur, because this will be again coming up for the elections. And 864 days, 46 countries he has visited. Many other states he has gone. He didn't have time for Manipur. So, and when we visited, our leader visited, we went to the people. We went to the people in the camp where they were relocated. So there are around 55 to 60,000 internally displaced people in Manipur. More than 300 people were killed. More than 1,550 people were injured. And this Prime Minister has no remorse intention of even acknowledging that kind of a violence that has happened in the state. They are trying to buy the peace by development, whereas they fail to realize and recognize and acknowledge the fact that there is a trust deficit in the state. The Kukis goes to the Lengpui airport in Mizoram, and the Meiteis use the Imphal airport and they can't travel. What kind of a state is that? And where is the Prime Minister directly addressing this? The administration has put up a great show, but whereas on the ground, if you have reporters, I work in the northeastern states. I work in Manipur, I work in the other northeastern states. And you go and ask the crowd. You go and ask the ground. There is pain. They say that the Prime Minister has insulted us with a 5-hour visit and all these drama.
No, if he doesn't go, then you say he doesn't go. If
he
goes
gone.
for
he hasn't gone.
today, then you say, why is he gone only for these many hours?
Yes, that's exactly what we are asking. Why hasn't he done an exclusive visit to Manipur all this time? If he was so genuine. This is coming as a very insincere, non-sympathetic, no empathy at all. What is this? Is he showing this for whom? You look at the people, the ground, where they reacted in the ground, destroying the decorations which was made for the Prime Minister. So am I speaking for the people? I'm speaking for the people. And Congress party, much earlier itself, has offered unconditional support for the peace of the people. But we disagree quietly with the BJP. And the Prime Minister also didn't have any time for any of his MLAs nor other elected MLAs of the state from where he could have addressed or from where he could have listened to the real problems in the ground.
Okay, so the Congress party says it has unconditional, it backs the government unconditionally. The government has unconditional support when it comes to Manipur. But the tweet or the message that came out from Mallikarjun Kharge, again something that needs to be pointed out because it uses the word farce, it uses the word, a cowardice, and that needs to be pointed out in terms of why this needs to be dealt more sensitively. But RP Singh, respond to what the Congress party is saying. This is too late.
Well, which Congress party is talking? Mallikarjun Kharge, Rahul Gandhi and his colleagues in the party. When Prime Minister was addressing the issue of Manipur in the parliament, they walked out of the parliament. So that's the background of the Congress party, and that's how serious they are, and that's how they are saying that they are supporting the government on Manipur. They are just playing the role of an opposition, and that too, whose opposition which is just trying to gain some brownie points by making such statements that it's farce and all. Prime Minister, it's not the Prime Minister who has only visited. The Prime Minister has visited Manipur 6 times. I was going through the data. Manmohan Singh visited Manipur only 3 times in his tenure. But that's not the issue. The issue is there's a strike there. There's a problem there. The lady just now said that there's a problem that people can't go to Impal airport and people can't go to the highways also. Both ways there's a problem. It's taking time for wounds to heal. It's not all that easy for wounds to heal. But even then, Impal airport has been renovated, re-renovated, and also that the infrastructure stress has been given so that there be infrastructure also growth, because infrastructure gets employment also, generates employment also. And infrastructure also builds up bridges between the communities also. But this is not happening for the first time. This happened in 1990. How many times did the Prime Minister of the Congress party visited when the earlier ethnic clashes happened? So it's not issue of making brownie points. It's issue of ensuring that there should be healing touch. They should have appreciated the Prime Minister have visited. No, he visited for 3 hours. He visited along with other 2 states. All northeastern states are important, sir. Manipur is very important right now, but all northeastern states are important, are equally important. He is the only Prime Minister who would have visited the complete northeast for almost 60 times, much more than all Prime Ministers put together. And northeast has been on focus, including Manipur. And Manipur especially because there is a ethnic strife which has happened. So it's a time for healing touch. And let me recall.
Matthew, I'm point very quickly. Then I get it on the other aspects of the roadmap. What lies ahead? But very quickly, Matthew Anthony, you had a point to make.
The Prime Minister visited Manipur 6 times, but tell me how many visits he has made after 2023, after the violence.
No, but this is the first visit that has already been extended, and on the same day you have come out and said this is a farce.
It is. Our president has been graceful in that usage. It is even more than that, I would rather say.
And you think that is exactly how the trust deficit will be bridged?
It is so hollow. I will tell you the reason why. Who was the Prime Minister when the violence happened? Who was the Home Minister when the violence happened? Which Home Minister's visit failed? And who was the Chief Minister there? So these trials, the Chief Minister happened. No, I didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you. So you can come back, but don't interrupt me, please. If you're going to interrupt, then I'm not going to speak.
Yeah, finish your point. Yeah.
Yeah. So Biren Singh was the Chief Minister. He was facilitating arms and ammunition transfer from the borders. drug business from the borders. Amit Shah was silent as a home minister. Then Biren Singh refused to cooperate with the national leadership. Himanta Biswa Sarma and Biren Singh was competing who is the biggest corrupt chief minister. Who's going to who's voting the money?
Mr. Anthony, see, this is how conversations get completely derailed. Here we are talking about the plight of Manipuris. We are talking about how will they get the confidence, and do they now have the confidence to ensure that the road, it may be long, it may be treacherous, it may be tenuous, but there is a visibility of that road. But all of road towards normalcy, all of that completely gets derailed with the kind of statements you make.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying, when he made an allegation that it is Congress who is destroying it, it is not. It was the BJP in the center and the state which was ruling it, and their silence or incompetence has created this situation. And we offered unconditional support to that one. And that's exactly what we are saying. There is no point in talking 1990 when you are in 2026, 2025. What is the point in talking that? People have given you the mandate, then do it.
Sir, who sowed the seed?
People have given you the mandate.
We all know it happened because of
There's no point in going back to 1990. You have been given the mandate. We have offered unconditional support. Now you are blaming us. Do it.
What unconditional support you are talking about? You boycotted the Prime Minister.
When the governor was appointed or even otherwise, for any genuine, sincere efforts, the Congress party has offered unconditional support if their efforts are genuine.
Okay, let's get in Hoinu Hazil on this. Hoinu, I want to understand from you.
We know the pain.
All right, Mr. Anthony, I'm going to come to you, sir. I'm going to come to you. This is more than just tutu meme, and that is essentially what the entire issue has been. Tutu meme from both political outfits, where the real issues of the Manipuris get sidelined, sidetracked. Hoinu, I want to understand from you, do you think now with this very important message from the Prime Minister, Manipuris have the confidence that's needed? I think the first and most important thing is the confidence that yes, the issues will get addressed. All of it may not be in one go. There are certain issues that are more complex, more nuanced. The two sides have completely different positions. Bridging them may take time. But do they now have the confidence, at least there is a visibility to reach there?
The touch and go visit of the Prime Minister, I think it'll be too early to say this is going to boost our confidence. We need to see what will follow immediately after this, because as I said earlier, the emphasis that he has given are all infrastructural development. There was, under the guise of healing touch, I don't know if bridges are immediately going to warm our hearts, because even when he announced almost about 3,800 crores, 70 is actually landing in Churachandpur district, which is again, going back to the structural and institutional inequality when it comes to development. Some of the hills, for instance, a very important district, Tamenglong, Ukhrul, all those have also been sidelined. So again, once again, I think we're really missing the point when we talk of development. It has to be equitable for all the residents of Manipur, the hills as well as the valley. So again, I think we're missing the point here. The hills are forgotten, and only 70 crore is actually landing in Churachandpur. So I think we need to introspect. We really need to wait and see what is it that this touch and go visit is going to entail. It'll be difficult for me to say that it's going to boost our confidence. We are absolutely happy that he came, and he saw at least the little that he saw would help in enabling a lot of things that we have been wanting to address. For instance, political solution is something that's just been kept aside. So the difficult questions and uneasy questions, it's time that we address them and not brush them aside. And we also need to be very clear about what is the definition of peace? What are the ingredients of peace? Shouldn't justice be in place before we even say that we are going to have peace? I know everybody is yearning for peace, but I think there are fundamentals that, there are certain basic fundamentals in order to also attain peace. So I think we need to question and understand what are those roadmaps. They're still very ambiguous to my understanding.
I think these are early days.
Spell those. Yeah.
I think these are early days.
We will need to watch. Yeah.
And we will get to know more, hopefully, as things progress.
If I may just add, he may have taken 5 days or 6 days, but if he does not bring anything which is bankable, a bankable solution, it doesn't matter. So I think I would not emphasize too much on the number of days or hours that he spent, but I would like to really understand the intent of his visit, to understand that I hope something bankable, a solution.
Absolutely. Hope is the message. Yeah. Hope is the message. Peace is the other key message, riding on growth and development. That's essentially how one should be seeing this. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining me this Saturday evening. Well, there are still questions that remain, questions that hopefully will be answered in coming days. First and foremost, how soon the president's rule will make way for a government. As I said, assembly hasn't been dissolved. Will there be a government in place? What happens next about the conflicting demands that the Metis and Kukis have? How will you bridge that? And lastly, the trust deficit. How and when will that be addressed by the government? There has been a positive momentum. It needs to continue for peace to be lasting. Thank you so much for joining me on this special edition of the debate this Saturday evening.
Hello, Moto.
Moto G96 5G. All eyes on you.
Prime Minister Modi meets victims of Manipur violence. Focus on hope and development from here. TVK Chief Vijay kicks off his Tamil Nadu tour and blasts the sitting government of DMK over restrictions with regard to his tour. High-stakes India versus Pakistan match at the Asia Cup tomorrow, even as veterans fume after Operation Sindoor asking why India is playing Pakistan. Prime Minister Modi's big peace message in Nepal says that all eyes now on the peace roadmap from here after the appointment of the Prime Minister.
तू ही तो है जिसकी सच्चाई वाली क्लैरिटी की वजह से मैं आज यहाँ हूँ।
गोल्ड प्लस सिल्वॉक्सी मिरर्स, ऐसी क्लैरिटी कि आपको सिर्फ सच नजर आए, चाहे कितने भी साल बीत जाएं।
We see the problems, but you as a social entrepreneur see the solutions. You are not just creating solution, you are creating a future where everyone has a chance to thrive. For the change makers, the innovators, the ones building a better world, one solution at a time. The Adani Green Talk Social Impact Awards are created for you. Green Talk Social Impact Awards 2025, coming soon.
We're the only country with such.
Hello, Moto.
Moto G96 5G. All eyes on you.
ऐसा कहा जा रहा है कि इस दफ़ा हिंदुस्तान में दीपावली दो बार मनाई जाएगी। एक बार 22 सितंबर को जब जीएसटी रिफॉर्म्स का कार्यान्वयन होगा और दूसरी दफ़ा जब असल दिवाली होगी। ये कैसे सुनिश्चित किया जाएगा कि सरकार ने जो जीएसटी रिफॉर्म्स किए हैं, जीएसटी में जो कर कम किया है, उसका फ़ायदा उपभोक्ता को मिले और इसका आखिरकार भारत की विकास दर पर और अर्थव्यवस्था पर क्या असर पड़ेगा, इस पर बात करने के लिए हमारे साथ देश के वाणिज्य एवं उद्योग मंत्री हैं। जोरदार तालियों की गड़गड़ाहट के साथ पीयूष गोयल जी का एनडीटीवी के इस जीएसटी कॉन्क्लेव में स्वागत कीजिए। पीयूष जी, बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका। आप ये बताइए कि सरकार की नज़र से जो जीएसटी रिफॉर्म्स आपने किए हैं उसका देश में इस वक्त जो अर्थव्यवस्था है उसकी विकास दर पर क्या असर पड़ने वाला है आने वाले महीनों में? पीयूष जी।
मैं समझ, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने जिस प्रकार से बहुत सोची समझी रणनीति के तहत देश की अर्थव्यवस्था को गत 11 वर्षों में मजबूत किया, लगातार आगे बढ़ाया और एक ऐसे पायदान पे लाके खड़ा किया, ऐसी नींव रखी अर्थव्यवस्था की कि 3 तारीख को जब जीएसटी काउंसिल मिली तो मेरा मानना है कि भारत के आज़ादी के बाद अगर सबसे महत्वपूर्ण और निर्णायक कदम भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था को नई ऊंचाइयों पर लेके जाने के लिए कोई हुआ हो तो वो 3 सितंबर के व्यापक रूप से जीएसटी के रिफॉर्म, रेट में कटौती, पूरा जो प्रोसेस है, सिस्टम्स हैं उसको सरल करना, जहाँ जहाँ पे रेट्स को रैशनलाइज करने की ज़रूरत थी, यानी पूरी सप्लाई चेन, वैल्यू चेन को और व्यवस्थित बनाना, एक प्रकार से भारत के लिए और भारत के उपभोक्ताओं को नई ऊर्जा के साथ अपने रोज़मर्रा की ज़रूरतें खरीदने के लिए, नए उत्साह के साथ डिमांड जनरेट करने के लिए बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण कदम रहा है। इससे स्वाभाविक तौर पे महंगाई की दरें भी कम रहेंगी, महंगाई कम रहती है तो ब्याज की दरें कम रहती हैं, और महंगाई और ब्याज जब कम होता है तो लोगों की जेब में पैसा ज़्यादा होता है, डिस्पोजेबल इनकम, परचेजिंग पावर बढ़ती है। और आपने 2 दिवाली की बात की, आप तीसरी दिवाली तो भूल ही गए। 12 लाख रुपए तक जो टैक्स की छूट दी बजट में, और जो सैलरी अर्नर्स हैं उनको तो 12,75,000 रुपए तक अब कोई टैक्स नहीं है। तो प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने, जिन्होंने एक बड़ी कमज़ोर अर्थव्यवस्था 2014 में विरासत में पाई थी, फ्रेजाइल 5 इकोनॉमी, कैसे हर वर्ष सिस्टमैटिकली उन्होंने उसको मजबूत बनाया, विश्व की टॉप 5 इकोनॉमी बनाया। आज हमारा बैंकिंग सिस्टम मजबूत है, हमारे फॉरेन एक्सचेंज रिजर्व्स ऑल टाइम हाई पे हैं और इतने सब्सटैंशियल हैं कि कोई भी शॉक एब्जॉर्ब कर सके। आज हमारी विकास की दर दुनिया में सबसे तेज गति से बढ़ने वाली है, 7.8%। हमारी महंगाई की दर 1.55%, शायद ऐसे लो पे है जो 4-5 साल में कभी नहीं देखा। और वैसे देखो तो हमारे पूरे 11 वर्ष एवरेज महंगाई देखे तो इट हैज़ बीन द लोएस्ट डेकेड ऑफ इन्फ्लेशन इन द लास्ट 75 ईयर्स। तो एक प्रकार से जब मजबूत अर्थव्यवस्था बनती है तभी वो क्षमता आती है कि इतना बड़ा धमाका, इतनी बड़ी रेट कटौती करके उपभोक्ताओं को आगे आने वाले दिनों में देश की अर्थव्यवस्था को और आगे तेजी से बढ़ाने के लिए हमने
कई सारे अर्थशास्त्रियों से, उद्योगपतियों से बातचीत हो रही थी। उनको काफी आश्चर्य हुआ किस रफ्तार के साथ जीएसटी काउंसिल में कंसेंसस बन गया। आपको लगता है कि जब आपदा आती है तभी जो देश में पॉलिटिशियंस हैं, नेता हैं, क्योंकि इसमें विपक्षी पार्टियों के वित्त मंत्री भी थे, बीजेपी शासित सरकारों के भी वित्त मंत्री थे, जब कोई आफत बाहर आती है तभी सब लोग मिल के कहते हैं कि फटाफट रिफॉर्म किया जाए, कुछ बड़ा किया जाए?
नहीं, मैं नहीं मानता हूँ ऐसी कोई स्थिति है। देश के सामने ना तो कोई आपदा है और ना कोई ऐसा सेंस ऑफ डिस्पोंडेंसी है या कोई कंसर्न है जिसके कारण कोई रश थ्रू किया जाए। आखिर आप सोचिए, इतना व्यापक रिफॉर्म ओवरनाइट तो नहीं हो सकता है, महीनों महीनों की कश्मकश और मेहनत होगी। मैं मानता हूँ कि आनंद नागेश्वरन जी भी कई रात सोए नहीं होंगे इसकी तैयारियों में, इसकी कैलकुलेशंस में, इसका क्या प्रभाव होगा, क्या उसको कैलकुलेट करके ध्यान में रखना कि अर्थव्यवस्था को कोई तकलीफ नहीं हो, स्टेट्स के रेवेन्यूज़ भी ठीक रहें, डिमांड बुयोंसी से रेवेन्यू ज़्यादा जनरेट हो। तो एक बहुत ही गहरी गंभीर सोच समझ के ये नीतियाँ बनती हैं। तो मैं नहीं समझता हूँ ये कोई इस प्रकार का कंसेंसस है जो कोई प्रेशर में लिया गया है। रही बात विपक्ष की, उनके ऊपर अब क्या भरोसा करना। मीटिंग के अंदर तो उन्होंने हर संभव कोशिश की, मैं तो नहीं था मीटिंग में, पर जो बात उड़ते उड़ते बाहर निकली है, केरल, कर्नाटक, इन्होंने हर संभव कोशिश की इसको स्टॉल करने की। इतने नासमझ हैं, राजनीतिक सूझबूझ भी नहीं है कि जब जनता को लाभ हो रहा है, सामान्य मानवी के जीवन की रोजमर्रा की हर एक वस्तु में प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी चाहते हैं कि जनता को लाभ मिले। कोई बहुत ज़्यादा रेवेन्यू लॉस भी नहीं है, उससे ज़्यादा तो ब्यूएंसी और डिमांड ग्रोथ से रेवेन्यू बढ़ेगा। आखिर हमने 5 साल तक 14% ग्रोथ गारंटी करके जीएसटी को लागू करवाया। ऐसा तो हिम्मत यूपीए की कभी रही नहीं। कांग्रेस 10 साल बोलती रही, नाटक करती रही, कभी जीएसटी लागू करने का साहस ही नहीं था। ये तो मोदी जी के ऊपर लोगों को विश्वास था, विपक्षी दलों को भी विश्वास था कि वो कहते हैं वो करते हैं। 15 अगस्त को उन्होंने एक फ्लेवर दिया था और देखिए 3 सितंबर कितने दिन हुए, 18 दिन के अंदर कर दिखाया। और वास्तव में आज पूरे देश में एक उत्साह है, पूरे देश में एक विश्वास है कि ये 7.8% पे बढ़ने वाली अर्थव्यवस्था अगले 2-2.5 साल में विश्व की तीसरी सबसे बड़ी बन जाएगी। और जिस प्रकार से सरलीकरण, डिक्रिमिनलाइजेशन, कानून में जो जो डरावने प्रावधान थे उनको हटाया जा रहा है, पुराने कानून जिनका कोई मतलब नहीं है उनको ध्वस्त किया जा रहा है, कंप्लायंस बर्डन, प्रोसेस, प्रोसीजर, सबको सिंपल करना, सरल करने का काम तेजी से सरकार में गत वर्षों में मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में हुआ है। उसको आने वाले दिनों में हम और गति देंगे। और मैं आपको विश्वास दिलाता हूं कि भारत में काम करना, व्यापार करना, कारोबार, उद्योग करना सरल और सुगम भी होगा और हम सबके जीवन में भी बहुत सारे बदलाव से जीवन भी हम सबका और अच्छा होगा, तेजी से अच्छा होगा।
आप अनंत नागेश्वरन जी की तरफ देख रहे थे, मुख्य आर्थिक सलाहकार हैं और कह रहे हैं कि पता नहीं ये सो पा रहे हैं रात में कि नहीं ठीक से। मैं तो कभी कभी ये सोचता हूँ कि पीयूष गोयल जी आजकल रात में सो पाते हैं कि नहीं ठीक से। वो इस वजह से कि आप यहाँ पे गए, आप वैसे ही देर काफ़ी लेट सोते हैं, तब तक वहाँ वो डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प जग जाता है और दे दन उसने कुछ दिया ट्रूथ सोशल पे। आपको नींद आती है आजकल या देखते ही रहते हैं कि भाई एक्स पे क्या चल रहा है, ट्विट पे क्या चल रहा है, क्या नहीं? आप
गलती कर बैठता है। देखिए डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प जब उठता है तब यहाँ क्या शाम होती है, मैं जब सोता हूँ तो वहाँ तो लगभग वर्किंग आवर्स ख़त्म हो जाते हैं तब तक। तो मेरे जागने का कारण कोई और नहीं है, मेरे जागने का कारण है कि प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी चाहते हैं कि जिस प्रकार से वो मेहनत करते हैं वैसे ही हम सब मंत्रियों की भी जिम्मेदारी है कि हमारा क्षण क्षण पल पल उन्हीं की तरह जनता की सेवा में लगे, हम और ज़्यादा अधिक काम करें और ज़्यादा तेज़ी से काम करें, वो मुझे बिजी रखता है। बाकी विश्व की समस्याएं आज हमें इतनी चिंता की बात नहीं है क्योंकि भारत अपने आप में एक ताकत है। आखिर 140 करोड़ लोग जो डिमांड जनरेट करते हैं वो बहुत बड़ी ताकत है। जो मिस करेंगे उनका नुकसान है, भारत का नहीं इतना नुकसान है।
मैंने कई बार आपके साथ और वैसे भी कुछ ट्रेड मिनिस्टर से बातचीत की, उद्योगपतियों से बातचीत की, हिंदुस्तान में विदेश में, सब कहते हैं कि पीयूष गोयल बहुत अच्छे निगोशिएटर हैं, कुछ भी नहीं छोड़ते, मतलब बहुत हार्ड निगोशिएट करते हैं। अब आपको निगोशिएट करना पड़ रहा है ट्रम्प एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के साथ, जो कि बहुत ही अनप्रेडिक्टेबल निगोशिएटर हैं। इसको आप कैसे देख रहे हैं? सब लोग ये सोच रहे हैं कि बिकॉज आप एक लेवल पे एफर्ट करते हैं, वहां से कुछ और बजूका चल जाता है। तो हाउ आर यू डीलिंग विद दिस?
देखिए आपसे ज़्यादा अनप्रेडिक्टेबल तो कोई हो नहीं सकता है। मीडिया से अगर एक बार डील करना जान जाओ, उसके बाद किसी से और डील करने में तकलीफ नहीं होती है।
अच्छा, एक अच्छे बैट्समैन की तरह जो बॉल आ रही बॉल समझ भी रहे हैं और छोड़ रहे हैं, मतलब कुछ ऐसा बोल दो कि ट्रम्प और टैरिफ्स और अमेरिका के साथ जो इस वक्त कशमकश चल रही है, डू यू सी एन एंड टू दैट? आपको लग रहा है कुछ समाधान निकलता है या ऐसे ही उलझते रहेंगे हम लोग?
देखिए मैं एस्ट्रोलॉजर तो नहीं हूँ, लेकिन मेरा कन्विक्शन है कि भारत सही ट्रैक पे है और भारत जो कर रहा है अपने देश के हित में कर रहा है, अपने जनता के हित में कर रहा है। मुझे ये विश्वास है कि हमने जो अपने किसान हो, अपने मछुआरे हो, अपने जो छोटे उद्योग जगत से जुड़े हुए इकाइयां हैं, एमएसएमई सेक्टर है, हमारे कारीगर, हमारे कामगार, विश्वकर्मा, हमारे हथकरघा, इन सब की जो इंटरेस्ट है इसको सर्वप्रथम रखना पड़ेगा, सर्वप्रिय रखना पड़ेगा। और उसको संभालते हुए जो भी हम निर्णय लेते हैं वो मैं आपको विश्वास दिला सकता हूँ माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी इन इंटरेस्ट को कभी सैक्रिफाइस नहीं करेंगे, भारत के हित को कभी सैक्रिफाइस नहीं। उसके अलावा तो बहुत मौके हैं, बहुत अच्छे डील करने की संभावना है। और मेरा विश्वास है कि यूएस और भारत दो इतनी कॉन्सिक्वेंशियल डेमोक्रेसीज हैं, इतने महत्वपूर्ण देश हैं, हम दोनों की सोच, हम दोनों के लोगों के बीच जो आपसी रिश्ता, संबंध और आत्मीयता है, जो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री और राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप के बीच मित्रता है, जिस प्रकार से हम सब मंत्रियों के बीच में लगातार संपर्क बना रहता है, दोस्ती बनी रहती है, मुझे लगता है कि कभी कभार समय लगता है। एंड ऑल गुड थिंग्स टेक टाइम, ऑल गुड थिंग्स कम आफ्टर लॉट ऑफ हार्ड वर्क, लॉट ऑफ पेशेंस एंड लॉट ऑफ एफर्ट। तो मैं चिंता नहीं करता हूँ, मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि भारत का भविष्य भी बड़ा उज्जवल है और जो लोग भारत के साथ रिश्ते बढ़ाएंगे, भारत के साथ व्यापार बढ़ाएंगे, उन सब का भविष्य भी बहुत।
क्योंकि दो चीज़ें इस वक्त एक साथ चल रही हैं। एक तरफ आपने जीएसटी में कर को कम किया इस उम्मीद में कि इससे कंजम्पशन बढ़ेगा, कंजम्पशन बढ़ने से इंडिया इंक और इस विश्वास के साथ कि कंजम्पशन बढ़ेगा, इंडस्ट्री इन्वेस्ट करेगी, नई नौकरियां बनेंगी और एक ग्रोथ साइकिल आएगा। दूसरी तरफ जो विदेशी कंपनियां भारत में इन्वेस्ट करने के बारे में सोच रही थी, अब उनके सामने ये बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है कि भाई आप यहाँ पे इन्वेस्ट करोगे लेकिन आप एक्सपोर्ट कर पाओगे नहीं, अमेरिका बड़ा मार्केट है, उसको लेके एक अनिश्चितता है। तो ये तो एक अनसर्टनिटी उन्होंने क्रिएट कर ही दी है ना, ये तो एक फैक्ट है, उससे आप कैसे डील कर रहे हैं?
ऐसा है कि अनसर्टनिटी तो अवश्य है, लेकिन जो निवेशक भारत में आ रहे हैं उन निवेशकों को पता है कि आखिर और कौन सी अर्थव्यवस्था है दुनिया में जो लगभग 7.5-8% पे ग्रो कर रही। कोई और अर्थव्यवस्था बता दो जो विश्व की ग्रोथ का 18 से 20% कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन कर रही। कोई और अर्थव्यवस्था बता दो जहाँ दुनिया के सबसे ज़्यादा स्टेम ग्रेजुएट्स हर वर्ष निकलते हैं। 23 लाख स्टेम ग्रेजुएट्स, साइंस, टेक्नोलॉजी, इंजीनियरिंग और मैथमेटिक्स, 23 लाख हर वर्ष, और उसमें लगभग आधे महिलाएं हमारी बहनें भारत में तैयार होते हैं। आप मुझे कोई और अर्थव्यवस्था बता दो जिसमें इतना युवा देश, हमारी एवरेज एज 28.4 है और अगले 30 वर्ष तक हमारी एवरेज एज 30 वर्ष से कम रहने वाली। कोई ऐसा इतना कंपल्सिव इन्वेस्टमेंट डेस्टिनेशन दुनिया में और कोई है ही नहीं। तो निवेशक भी भारत में आएंगे, निवेशक भारत की बड़ी मार्केट 140 करोड़ आशा और अपेक्षा और आकांक्षा से भरे हुए युवा देश की मार्केट में अपनी जगह बनाना चाहेंगे। और दुनिया तो बहुत बड़ी है, हमने तो देखिए मॉरिशस, यूएई, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, यूके, 4 नेशन एफ्टा के, स्विट्जरलैंड, लिechtenstein, नॉर्वे और आइसलैंड के साथ ऑलरेडी एफटीएस कंप्लीट कर लिए। ईयू की टीम मेरे ऑफिस
तो
में
यहाँ पे
बैठी
इन्वेस्ट करने की भी बात की
और उसमें बड़े बड़े इन्वेस्टमेंट कमिटमेंट्स भी हैं।
ट्रम्प तो उल्टा बोल रहे, कह रहे कि वहां पे आके इन्वेस्ट करो,
लोग जाए ना। हम तो देखिए अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी ने मुझे बहुत बचपन में ही सिखाया था कि कोई छोटी लकीर के मिटाने के समय मत बिताओ, छोटी लकीर के सामने बड़ी लकीर खींच के आप सफल ज्यादा होंगे। छोटी लकीर कोई देखते रहोगे तो कहाँ आगे बढ़ोगे लाइफ में। अगर आप एनडीटीवी चलाते हो तो आप क्या अपने आप को बेंचमार्क करते हो कोई ऐसे चैनल से जो कोई छुटकर मुटकर लोकल चैनल है, या आप बेंचमार्क करते हो हुएवर इज द बेस्ट विद द हाईएस्ट टीआरपी?
नहीं, हम तो इंटरनेशनल बेंचमार्क करते हैं, हम डोमेस्टिक बेंचमार्क ही नहीं करते, कोई फायदा ही नहीं है। क्योंकि एनडीटीवी आप देखें एक ऐसा ब्रांड है जो कि दुनिया भर में जब भी भारतीय मीडिया की चर्चा होती है तो एनडीटीवी सबसे पहले जिक्र में आता है। कभी आप अमेरिका जाओ, यूरोप जाओ।
बात से सहमत हूं, उल्टे हम भी जब विदेश जाते हैं द बेस्ट ऐप टू यूज इज द एनडीटीवी ऐप। देयर इज नो डाउट।
विदेशी में नहीं, इंडिया में भी बेस्ट ही ऐप है यूज करने के लिए, विदेश जाओ तो फट से आता है। लेकिन
देखिए भारत में तो हमको अभी भी वो न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ने के बगैर सुबह की चाय का आनंद नहीं आता है।
ठीक है, जब तक आप ऐप यूज़ कर रहे हैं, टीवी देख रहे हैं, वेबसाइट कंज्यूम कर रहे हैं, ये ठीक है। और हमारी बेंचमार्क इंटरनेशनल है क्योंकि उसकी एक सोच भी है। प्रधानमंत्री जब NDTV वर्ल्ड समिट में आए, उन्होंने कहा कि एक इंडियन मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म होना चाहिए विच बिकम्स इंडियाज वॉइस टू द वर्ल्ड, कि भारत की आवाज़ दुनिया भर में गूंजे। तो प्रयास उस दिशा में चल रहा है। वहाँ कितनी दूर पहुँचते वो ट्रेड डील की तरह हो पाता है कि नहीं, वो कुछ टाइम के बाद ही पता चलेगा, लेकिन एफर्ट कम से कम उस डायरेक्शन में। सर, आपने आनंद नागेश्वर जी की चर्चा की। इकोनॉमिक सर्वे में फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री की तरफ से या CA की तरफ से ये सुझाव था कि चाइना के साथ इन्वेस्टमेंट को रिव्यू करना चाहिए। उसके बाद मेरा आपसे इंटरव्यू हुआ, आपने कहा ठीक है अर्थशास्त्रियों का काम है अपनी बात बोलना, लेकिन हम नेशनल इंटरेस्ट में पॉलिसी बनाते हैं। अब तो लगता है कि नेशनल इंटरेस्ट भी कुछ हद तक बदल रहा है। चीन को जिस तरह से आप फरवरी में देख रहे थे, सितंबर आते आते क्या आपका नज़रिया कॉमर्स इंडस्ट्री में बदला है उसको देख?
ऐसा है कि चीन के साथ ये जो गलवान में समस्या हुई, उस टाइम पे हमने कुछ पाबंदियां लगाई थी। वैसे पाबंदियां नहीं है, उसको भी हम परमिट करते हैं, अप्लाई करना पड़ता है। हम देखना चाहते हैं कि कोई अपॉर्चुनिस्टिक टेक ओवर नहीं हो। गलवान जब हुआ, उसी के साथ साथ आपको याद होगा कोविड की महामारी भी भारत में आई थी, और कोविड की महामारी के समय वैल्यूएशंस बहुत घट गई थी। तो उस समय हमें लगा था कि बहुत सस्ते वैल्यूएशंस में कोई देश भारत की इकाइयों को, भारत के बिजनेसेस को टेक ओवर ना कर ले, इसलिए ये पाबंदियां लाई गई थी। अब वो पाबंदियां क्या करना चाहिए, आगे हटनी चाहिए, डाइल्यूट होनी चाहिए, नहीं होनी चाहिए, ये एक पॉलिसी डिसीजन है। जब लेंगे तो आपको ज़रूर बताएंगे। जहाँ तक बात रही नीति आयोग की या चीफ इकोनॉमिक एडवाइज़र, इनका रोल एडवाइजरी रहता है, नाम ही चीफ इकोनॉमिक एडवाइज़र है। उनका है कि एक आइडियाज़ दो, आइडियाज़ के प्रोज एंड कॉन्स रखो, फाइनल डिसीजन पॉलिसी मेकर्स यानी सरकार का होता है। सरकार को और कई चीज़ें देखनी पड़ती है और एक व्यापक सोचना पड़ता है। नीति आयोग की एक सोच एक तरीके से और कुछ डेटा पॉइंट्स पे होती है। चीफ इकोनॉमिक एडवाइज़र की एक इकोनॉमिक्स के हिसाब से सुझाव होते हैं। सरकार की जिम्मेदारी और बड़ी व्यापक सोच, जियोपॉलिटिक्स, अंतर्राष्ट्रीय पटल पर क्या हो रहा है, देश की ज़रूरतें क्या हैं, उन सबको मद्देनज़र रखते हुए जो जनहित और देशहित में होगा वो मोदी सरकार करेगी।
आपने ये कैलकुलेट किया है कि आपकी नज़र में, क्योंकि खुद आप अलग अलग तरीके से डेटा को स्टडी करते हैं, आपके खुद के राय में इस GST रिफॉर्म का इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ पर क्या इम्पैक्ट आने वाला है और कब तक आपको लगता है ये किक इन करेगा? क्योंकि मैं इसलिए पूछता हूँ क्योंकि जब आपने कॉर्पोरेट इनकम टैक्स रेट्स कम किए थे तब वो इन्वेस्टमेंट साइकिल में नहीं तब्दील हुआ था, तब उससे जिस तरह की आपको ग्रोथ मल्टीप्लायर की उम्मीद थी वो नहीं हुआ था। तो इसको आप इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में कैसे देखें?
साधारणतः कॉर्पोरेट टैक्स जब आप कम करते हो, उसको इन्वेस्टमेंट साइकिल में कन्वर्ट होने में टाइम लैग होता है, क्योंकि आदमी मार्केट असेस करता है, डिमांड असेस करता है, डिमांड के आधार पर लोकल प्रोडक्शन में शॉर्टेज कितनी है, इंपोर्ट स्टैटिस्टिक्स देखता है कि व्हाट विल ही बी रिप्लेसिंग, उतनी डिमांड होनी चाहिए तब निवेश करता है, या एक्सपोर्ट इंटरनेशनल डिमांड असेस करता है, लोकेशन ढूंढता है, कई विषय होते हैं, तो टाइम लैग ज़्यादा होता है। GST के जो बदलाव है ये 22 तारीख से इम्प्लीमेंट हो जाएंगे और मैं समझता हूँ कि प्रॉबली बाय द लास्ट क्वार्टर ऑफ दिस ईयर या फर्स्ट क्वार्टर ऑफ नेक्स्ट ईयर इसका इम्पैक्ट दिखना शुरू हो जाएगा।
पीयूष गोयल जी, आप NDTV के GST कॉन्क्लेव में आए, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। मुझे लगता है जो स्वदेशी को फैलाने की आप बात करें, जितने भी लोग यहाँ पे बैठे हैं और जो देख रहे हैं, सुन रहे हैं आपको, उनके जहन में भी यही होगा कि जितना भी स्वदेशी माल वो खरीद पाएँ उसमें सभी का हित है, क्योंकि कभी भी हिमालय के उस पार बैठा हो या समुद्र के उस पार बैठा किसी इंसान को अपनी तकदीर तय करने का हक नहीं देना चाहिए। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका।
धन्यवाद राहुल जी।
गोल्ड प्लस ऑप्टिमिस्टिक रिफ्लेक्टिव ग्लास लगाओ, धूप की गर्मी को दूर भगाओ और बिजली का बिल भी बचाओ।
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
If it matters to you, if it matters to you, if it matters to you. It matters to India. It matters to India. And it matters to me. And it matters to me.
India Matters with Shivaru. Only on NDTV 24/7.
हेलो बोलिए मैडम, डब्बा टेकिंग कब से चल रहा है पता है मैडम आपको? हम और आप तो जन्म भी नहीं हुआ था हमारा.
We investigated a shady advisory firm that has spent big bucks on advertising on the front pages of national dailies.
Good evening and welcome to this special broadcast that we are bringing to you from Kathmandu at this moment. Behind me are the charred remains of the Parliament of Nepal. And the young people and the country is hoping that from these ashes rises a new Nepal, which many of these young people protested, fought, and they believe now have won this battle against the old systems in Nepal, the old political parties, and what was going on for last many decades. It was a lot of turbulence and violence that led to this day, but at least in the last 3 to 4 days, the situation in the capital Kathmandu has remained calm but slightly tense. Things this morning, as the curfew was lifted, are now looking up. People are hoping the interim the Prime Minister, Sushila Karki, would be able to drive the country in a place where the expectations of the youth and the people would be met. There would be new elections in the next 6 months. Behind me, you would also see a lot of people gathering at this place. They are in fact a candlelight vigil, a tribute to those who passed away in the brutal crackdown by the government on the 8th of September. Young lives were lost here when the government in fact had cracked down, and post that there has been of course a lot of hope here in the people that the system will change, and what went on in Nepal for decades will not be as is. Neighboring India is also looking at their developments keenly. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi today spoke about the new Prime Minister and the situation in Nepal and the relations with India.
हिमालय की गोद में बसा नेपाल भारत का एक मित्र है, करीबी दोस्त है. मैं आज नेपाल में अंतरिम सरकार की प्रधानमंत्री के रूप में पदभार संभालने पर 140 करोड़ भारतवासियों की तरफ से श्रीमती सुशीला जी को हार्दिक बधाई देता हूं. मुझे विश्वास है कि वे नेपाल में शांति, स्थिरता और समृद्धि का मार्ग प्रशस्त करेगी.
People today came out in large numbers onto the streets as the curfew was lifted in the morning after the oath-taking ceremony of the interim Prime Minister Sushila Karki last night. The army is on the vigil, but a lot of people, as you would see behind me, have come out. The situation in Kathmandu is slowly but steadily limping back to normalcy. Me and my colleagues were out today to see firsthand how the city is waking up to a new dawn. Take a look.
After 5 long days, the curfew has finally been lifted here in Kathmandu, Nepal. The life is returning slowly to normalcy. There are people coming out for their daily job and work. There are grocery shops that are opening as well. You can see right behind me, I'm standing at the Maharajganj Chowk here in Kathmandu, which is a very popular destination, not very far from the original residence of the new Prime Minister Sushila Karki. You can see traffic moving very swiftly. There are buses, there are private vehicles, there are also traffic police personnel who are standing guard there. In different intersections, we can still see the army personnel, standing and providing security. But overall, the scenario is such that the curfew has been completely lifted. As I said, there are shops also opening. On my left, you can see the shops that are slowly returning to normalcy are opening. Let's also remember that Kathmandu is a very big tourist destination and the tourism industry has suffered immensely in the last 5 to 6 days. And now, slowly and steadily, there is traffic resuming here in Kathmandu. There are taxis plying, buses plying, and of course people are sensing a sigh of relief that after deadly violence in which 51 people were killed and more than 500 injured, now there is a sense of calm, there is a sense of stability in that an interim Prime Minister like Sushila Karki is in charge and will be taking command of the governance of the country.
Nepal has woken up to a new morning. For the first time in the last 5 days, there is no curfew and the situation in the capital city, Kathmandu, is limping back to normalcy. This is one of the very prominent, famous Haat Bhateni superstore in Nepal, in Kathmandu, an icon to say the least. And while you see the remnants of the anger of September 9th, the day when Kathmandu and the icons of Kathmandu, the icons of the old system in this country were burning, today, of course, is a new dawn. And there is a huge cleanup exercise which is going on. Some of them volunteers, others, those who work in the superstore, employees of the superstore, have taken it upon themselves to, in fact, get into action and engage in this cleanup. You could understand by these visuals itself of the anger and how it scorched everything that stood as a symbol of a system which the Gen Z or the young people did not approve of. Why did this superstore, one of the iconic ones, came under, face the ire of the people? That we don't know yet, but at least with the interim government being set up, and the hope now is that there would be, of course, a systemic change. It's ironic that these women, those who are engaged in this massive cleanup operation, there is a woman at the helm of affairs at this moment in Nepal. There will be challenges to, before this superstore can come back to life, can start functioning smoothly, and similar challenges for the interim government under Sushila Karki as well to bring this nation together, as at this moment they are at a very important precipice.
Vanakkam Tamil Nadu.
Now the battle for Tamil Nadu 2026 is open now.
After Chief Minister Stalin rolls up his sleeves.
And Vijay steps in as a star challenger.
This is a mass gathering, not for cash.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi attended the function organized to commemorate the 100th birth anniversary of Bharat Ratna Dr. Bhupen Hazarika in Guwahati. Prime Minister Narendra Modi was also in Manipur, where he met the victims of the Manipur violence. The opposition, in the meanwhile, asked why the Prime Minister did not visit earlier. TVK chief actor Vijay kicks off the Tamil Nadu tour. This after the Tamil Nadu police put in restrictions on his yatra. Vijay attacks the DMK and the BJP during the Tamil Nadu tour. And it is the high-stakes India versus Pakistan in the Asia Cup. This is the first match between the two sides since Operation Sindoor. The veterans fume. Prime Minister Modi's message of peace in Nepal. Prime Minister Modi hails India-Nepal ties. He says that Sushila Karki as Prime Minister empowers Nepal. Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Osama Shab, starting this bulletin with the big NDTV impact in Bengaluru in Karnataka. The civic bodies, they have acted now after this NDTV report. Remember, the GBA officials, they have visited the Balagiri road where NDTV reported from yesterday about the poor condition of this road. Remember, this is the same road where, this is the same place, exactly the same place where the bus nearly toppled. It has now been barricaded. The authorities have now sprung into action. My colleague Deepak Bopanna joins us to get us more on this. Deepak, you were the first one to break this story, to highlight the plight of the residents of this area, and the civic bodies have now taken note of it. They have started taking action. Give us more.
Yes, it's a big development here. The Greater Bengaluru Authority officials, of course, landing at that Balagare stretch of the road. We at NDTV, of course, have been highlighting time and again about how poor the conditions of, the roads here are. About a month ago as well, we had, brought ground reports, spoken to residents. At that point in time, officials had visited, but we hadn't really seen much, change on the ground. Now, as far as this incident is concerned, again, yesterday we had a situation where a school bus, while of course he was trying to overtake from the left, but while the road widening work is going on, they have not completed it, not barricaded it, which had led to a bus nearly toppling with students inside. This again drew a lot of attention towards the poor infrastructure there, the slow work that's going on, and more importantly, drew the attention to the risks that students and citizens are taking. And while, of course, NDTV was there reporting with the residents, finally, the officials taking note, cognizance. They've also now said that the road widening and the development of that Panatur-Balagere road will be taken up on priority. They've also barricaded that area where the bus nearly toppled. So somewhere, some signs of hope and, change that's coming to the fore after this report.
Right. In fact, Deepak, now that the civic bodies have taken note of this entire situation, how likely and how quickly action is going to be taken now? How quickly is this road going to be repaired? And not just this particular road, but the entire situation in Bengaluru. In many of the places, it is quite dire, especially when you look at the condition of the road. How quickly is action now going to be taken?
Especially this stretch of the road, has been in a very, very poor condition. It's not, when I say stretch, it's not just, 500 meters or 1 kilometer. These are like roads which extend to about 5 to 10 kilometers, which are in a very bad state. So they're saying that there is a road widening work that's going on. But the problem in Bengaluru, of course, is whenever developmental work is taken, there is never a situation where deadlines are met. More often than not, we see deadlines after deadlines, being ignored and nobody really being penalized. And that seems to become the norm. Now, let's hope here, well, the officials, of course, have said that they're going to take it up on priority. Change is seen at the earliest.
All right, Deepak Bopanna there. Thank you very much for getting us all those details. Vijay, the leader of TVK, he kicked off his mega yatra across the state, leaving a trail of enthusiasm and fanfare in his wake. With his razor-sharp attacks on the DMK government, actor Vijay is all set to shake things up in the state. But the big question is, can he really challenge the might of the DMK and the Chief Minister, M.K. Stalin there?
The path to victory. That's what Talapati Vijay is hoping for his statewide yatra to be. After a mega rally in Madurai weeks ago, the actor turned politician kicked off his Tamil Nadu tour on Saturday from Trichy.
He protect all the girls. No, not only that, whether he wins or lose, we have to give some chance to new people. So let we give some chance to him, whether he win or lose, that is his problem, and we will make him to win.
Absolutely, TVK will be the bestest because previously no parties has been performed well rather than other parties. So according to the other parties, TVK will full youngsters and full enforcement with high without pay. We are staying here with full support.
Despite strict restrictions by the state police, Trichy turned Talapati central. And Vijay unleashed a blistering attack on the ruling DMK.
இங்க திமுக அரசு நம்மள நம்ப வச்சு ஏமாத்திக்கிட்டு இருக்காங்க. ஒரு 505 தேர்தல் வாக்குறுதிகளை நமக்கு தமிழ்நாட்டு மக்களுக்கு கொடுத்தாங்க. அதுல எத்தனை வாக்குறுதிகளை இந்த திமுக கவர்மெண்ட் நிறைவேற்றிருக்கு? முக்காவாசி வாக்குறுதிகளை கூட நிறைவேற்றாம எல்லாத்தையும் நிறைவேற்றிட்டோம்னு இப்படி கதை விடுறீங்களே மை டியர் சிஎம் சார்.
While the DMK is dismissive of the political and electoral impact of Vijay's tour, the Chief Minister and Party President M.K. Stalin has invited his party cadre for a mega event scheduled for September 17 in Karur. In a letter to party workers, Stalin said that neither old nor new enemies can touch the fortress of steel that is DMK. Taking a jibe at Vijay's Yatra, Stalin declared that DMK is not a movement without principles where people shout slogans and disturb the public.
By kickstarting a statewide yatra from Trichy, the bastion of DMK, TVK chief, actor-turned-politician Vijay has sent out a strong message that he is drawing the battle lines with DMK for 2026 Tamil Nadu Assembly polls. Because Trichy is DMK bastion, it's where the DMK won all 9 seats in 2021. But will Vijay be able to forge a new independent path? Will people of Tamil Nadu accept him as a leader without any alliances? That remains a big question. With camera person Stephen Anthony and Sam Daniel, this is Vasudha Venugopal for NDTV.
Meanwhile, the DMK's Kanimoy has reacted to actor Vijay's Yatra. She says that the DMK vote bank will be unaffected by any of this. Listen in.
அண்ணாவையும் பெரியாரையும் சொல்லாமல் தமிழ்நாட்டில் யாரும் அரசியல் செய்ய முடியாது என்பதை சொல்வதற்கு மறுபடியும் அவர்கள் தெரிவித்திருக்கிறார்கள். திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகத்தின் வாக்கு வங்கியை எதுவும் பாதிக்காது.
AIADMK General Secretary and former Chief Minister Edapadi Palanisamy has levelled fresh allegations against the DMK, claiming that the DMK has leased out TV set-top boxes to a company called Aristo Company, which is favoured by the DMK Minister TRB Raja, saying that their corruption has cost government TV companies 300 crore. He also called out MK Stalin for supposed lack of development and neglect of people's issues in Tamil Nadu.
இந்த திமுகவுடைய குடும்பம் இந்த கேபிள் டிவி நடத்துகின்ற காரணத்தினால அவர்கள் இந்த அரசு கேபிள் டிவியை முடக்க வேண்டும். அதற்காக இப்படி செயல்பட்டு கொண்டிருக்கிறாங்க. அண்ணா திமுக ஆட்சி இருக்கின்ற பொழுது 30 லட்சம் நாங்க கனெக்ஷன் இருந்தது. கேபிள் டிவி மூலமா 30 லட்சம் கனெக்ஷன் இருந்தது. அதனால வருமானமும் கிடைத்தது. இன்றைய தினம் அது குறைஞ்சி 14 லட்சமா இணைப்பு தான் இன்னைக்கு கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. மீண்டும் அண்ணா திமுக ஆட்சி நடந்த உடனே குறைந்த கட்டணத்தில் கேபிள் டிவி சேவை மக்களுக்கு வழங்கப்படும்.
Well, cricket's biggest battle is here. India and Pakistan, they lock horns tomorrow in the Asia Cup. It's the first meeting between the two arch rivals since Operation Sindoor, and passions are already running high for India. This isn't just about pride, it's the start of their title defense and a hunt for history. You have been in dressing rooms against Pakistan, right? When you go into that room, are you also carrying that baggage of history with you, or is it a clean slate that you are carrying into the dressing room?
They really need to focus on this game, because I think whatever has happened behind, it has already happened. I think in '99 also in the World Cup also, I remember then we played against Pakistan at the height of Kargil war. But I think at the same time, when you're playing a sport, when you're going into play Pakistan or for that matter any team, you have to start afresh and you think about the game rather than thinking of all these things, which actually at this moment doesn't matter. Everybody's opinion, the opinion should be respected, and everybody has a right to say. It's a democratic country, everybody is supposed to say whatever they can say, but at the same time, I'm of opinion that if you play everything, otherwise you don't play anything. That has always been my stance forever, has been for a very, very long time. But at the same time, what I feel is, I think Indian team is above all these things, and they will go very fresh, and they will definitely play a very positive game, and then they will come out winners.
Well, a case has been filed against the Congress and the IT cell of Congress after that AI video of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's mother in Bihar. The Delhi police has now registered a case in this particular matter. In fact, the case has been filed at the North Avenue police station in Delhi. And my colleague Anushka Garg now joins us to get us more on this. Anushka, take us through the details.
That's right, Osama. An FIR has been filed on the Delhi police station regarding this matter, wherein people, the Delhi police election cell convener has in fact, given a written complaint to the, Delhi police stating that there was a blatant, distortion of the image of the Prime Minister and his mother on a social media post that was made by Congress's Bihar unit. Not just that, the Congress party, the BJP has in fact also gone on to allege that not just this, also during the Voter Adhikar Yatra that was held in Darbhanga, there was a misuse regarding the Prime Minister and his mother. An FIR has been, lodged at the North Avenue police station. Also, the BJP has in fact also alleged that this is not the first time that this has been done. An AI-generated fake video is being circulated by the Congress party, and the BJP is saying that this is allegedly a ploy to distort and tarnish the image of the Prime Minister. Also, we are seeing that the Delhi police has booked multiple cases in this particular matter, also under the digital data protection rights. We are also seeing that the Delhi police has said that they are taking this matter with utmost seriousness and have also said that the investigation is underway, following which the BJP has said that this is the lowest level on which the Congress can stoop. And also the Congress party has been allegedly, the BJP is saying that this is not the first time this is an attack on not just the Prime Minister's mother, but also womanhood and motherhood. And we are saying that the FIR has been lodged in Delhi. The Delhi police is saying that they are taking this matter with utmost seriousness, and the investigation is currently underway. And they are also, in fact, they have stated that the BJP has allegedly said that the Congress party is, in fact, after the, the image of the Prime Minister, not just the Prime Minister, but also his mother. And allegedly, this is, in fact, also a blatant disrespect to the Prime Minister's late mother's image. Over to you.
All right, Anushka Garg there. Thank you very much for getting us all those details. Time for a very short break. More news and updates on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Moto G96 5G. All eyes on you.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi attended the function organized to commemorate the 100th birth anniversary of Bharat Ratna Dr. Bhupen Hazarika in Guwahati. PM Modi visits Manipur and meets the victims of the Manipur violence. The opposition asked why the Prime Minister did not visit earlier. TVK Chief Actor Vijay kicks off Tamil Nadu tour. This after the Tamil Nadu police put in restrictions on the yatra. Vijay attacks the DMK and the BJP during his yatra. A high-stakes India versus Pakistan match in the Asia Cup. The first match since Operation Sindoor.
ब्रेकिंग न्यूज का जमाना है। सबको तिल का ताड़ और राई का पहाड़ बनाना है। ऐसे में जनता के जूते के अंदर फंसा कंकड़ कौन देखे? बड़े बड़े मुद्दों के शोर में जमीन से जुड़े मुद्दे अक्सर खो जाते हैं। लेकिन देश तरक्की तब करता है जब जनता के माथे की शिकन हमारी हेडलाइंस बनती है। मैं सैयद सुहेल भारत को जीता हूं, भारत की बात बताता हूं। एनडीटीवी इंडिया पर।
An unmatched immersive event. FN takes India Inc. questions live.
140 crore Indians will have one or the other thing touching them from 22nd September.
The biggest industry names.
Center versus state is not the point. All of us are together in it, and if states lose, I also lose.
Top policy titans, the headline makers.
What is the optimal way of engagement? So 100% of this will be passed on to the consumer. We'll be driving the growth of our country.
All on one mega stage. The voices that matter.
हम भी जब विदेश जाते हैं, the best app to use is the NDTV app.
Speak only on NDTV.
Rajasthan is history, culture, and much more. And I have been reporting on all things.
Welcome back. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he is on a two-day visit to the northeast, focusing on Assam, Mizoram and Manipur, where he inaugurated and laid the foundation stone for projects worth over 50,000 crore rupees. During his visit, the Prime Minister also celebrated